Okay. Hi, I'm Makayla.
I'm Marley.
I'm Ethan.
And we're from the Santa Barbara Middle School Teen Press. When making a poster for the SBIFF, how do you start the process and what does the process involve?
This particular poster was made from an existing painting. So Roger Durling asked me if I would be willing to let the festival use one of my paintings for the poster for this year, and I said sure. So he chose this particular image, and the original painting is just a tiny bit wider, but they cropped it a tiny bit, just to fit the format of it. So the graphic design for this particular poster is something that was all done separate from the painting. Sometimes I've done designs specifically for posters, but I think it's kind of cool and unusual, to take something that wasn't designed for a poster and then make something out of it.
How did you start this particular painting and where did you get your ideas?
Well, one of my favorite things to do that I've been doing for 70 years now is to go to the beach in Santa Barbara. And so what I do literally is I take my paint box and an umbrella and I go and I sit on the beach, like my favorite beach. And then I just look around and wait till something happens and then I make a painting of it. And so this painting is kind of typical of that. It was a nice day, I was sitting there and I looked over and this guy was standing there for a little while, and so I just made a painting of him. I don't know who it is, and I had to do it kind of quickly in order to get it, but that's, a lot of my work is about that, just kind of being here, being in Santa Barbara and seeing what happens and trying to record that, or respond to that.
Thank you.
How long does it typically take for you to design a poster or a painting?
Well, I don't usually design posters myself, I have done that, but I primarily make paintings. And kind of the smart aleck answer to that question about how long does it take to make a painting is my whole life. Sometimes a painting like this, the actual execution of the painting, like how long it took from beginning to end in terms of the brushstroke on the canvas, is a very short period of time. But there were hundreds of paintings like this that led up to that. So it's the same thing like whether it's brain surgery or shooting a 3-point basket. It's like you practice, and then what I like to do in my paintings is I like to make them look absolutely effortless, like there was no work to them at all. But and it's the same thing, in a lot of things in life. Like you go to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, you want everything to look simple, like nobody had to work hard. You don't want to think about how to work. You want to just enjoy it. So I would say that painting probably took me maybe an hour to actually put all the paint on and finish it. But like I said, there was hundreds and hundreds of paintings that led up to that. I've been painting people standing on the beach my whole life.
How would you say the pandemic has affected this year's poster design?
Well, as Roger said, I think that one thing that people have been able to do in Santa Barbara, or actually people around the world have come to Santa Barbara to be outside on the beach, right? And I don't know whether that was really intentional or subliminal, but somehow being on the beach and being outside and the open air, I think the poster reflects that, and I think it's like a feeling of finally being free. But then also, I think the choice of this particular image, again, like I said, talks about this idea about you go to the beach and look out at the ocean and the horizon in the same way that you go to the movies, to look up there because you have these sort of dreams and desires, So I would say.
What advice would you give a student designer or artist about creating a poster or a painting?
To look at as many posters and paintings as possible. It's just like you gotta really got to educate yourself and look at what everybody else has done, and then compare your work to what's come before you.
You mentioned that you wanted this painting to evoke the meaning of being in the now. What other meanings do you hope your paintings show, and how do you get that across?
Well, I think one of the things I want my paintings to do is to reflect a sense of the truth, and to be as simple and just as truthful as possible. And then beyond that, I'd like them to reflect a sense of respect for people and the world and our environment. That's kind of, some paintings are about being aggressive or about being aggrandizing, and I want my paintings to reflect the kind of the best of Santa Barbara, which is a kind of gentility, a sort of intelligence, a kind of repose, and so that's what I'd say.
Thank you so much, and we hope to see you at this year's film festival.
Me too. Thank you. Both of my sons went to middle school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and my older son rode with John across country. He went on that whole trip across the country. So middle school.
The first trip. So
the second trip. The core of discovery.
right.
Yeah. So he was on that trip. So middle school means a lot to me. It was really great for both of my sons. I just thought I'd tell you that.
Interesting. Thank you.
Yeah.